Welcome to BODHI. Thanks for tuning in at home. My name's JJ, and we have Casey practicing with us in class today. We are going to start class on your backs, how we usually end our class, in a nice Phalapi Shavasana. So you can sprawl out. Just befriend gravity. Let gravity get you a little bit heavier on the mat. Just the thumbprint of your back body sinks down. You find some space between the top and bottom rows of your teeth. And just let the inhalation come flood in through your nose, filling up the tops, the sides, the bottoms of your lungs. Just get all the way full on your breath. When you can't breathe in anymore, just breathe in a little more. And a sigh of relief out the mouth. So feel all the breath empty out. Keep it out. And then the breath will get pushed back into the nose, swelling the belly, expanding the ribs. Breath fills all the way up to the collarbones. And then open your mouth and let it go. Let's stretch your arms back over your head. Stretch your feet out in front of you. Stretch your legs long. Pull yourself apart. Right, so bring your big toes to touch. Your heels are going to be a little bit apart. And reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And grab a block, and you're going to squeeze the shorter sides of the block, sort of biasing the pinky sides of your hands. So gripping the block with the pinky sides of your hands is going to create some external rotation in those upper arm bones. Right. Your tailbone steers to the space between your heels as you contain the bottom borders of your rib cage. You're going to keep that as you reach your arms back over your head so your biceps are in line with the ears. So we're pretty much mimicking handstand, right, on our back, right? Triceps wrap skyward, biceps wrap groundward, and those arms are as straight as you possibly can get them. And now you're going to reach your right leg so far forward that it happens to pick up just a little bit. Yes. Without letting those front ribs lift up. Yes. Place your right heel down and then reach your left leg so far forward that that left foot just picks up just a little bit. Yeah. Now here's the fun part. You're going to start to swim your legs in the air. So switch your legs in the air and then switch again and then switch. Just a few times, keeping those bottom ribs under your guidance the whole time. The tailbone keeps reaching to your feet. Just a couple more. Said that a couple more ago. Yeah. Casey's like, ah. Oh. All right, it's over. Just relax. Nice work. All right, hug your knees into your chest. Come up to tabletop position, however you like to get up to all fours. All right, so check it out. You're going to grab a block. You're going to place the block in between your inner thighs and give that block a nice squeeze. All right, so we're going to cycle through a few rounds of cat-cow. Right. So let the movement be initiated from your sacrum falling down, rounding the low back, the mid back, the upper back. And then now initiate it with that premier upper vertebra. Lift the head first, and it has a chain reaction all the way down your spine. And then the sacrum releases from the lumbar, mid back, upper back rounds. Head's the last to fall, and then the head's first to lift as you breathe in. And that ripples all the way down towards the tail. One more time. Lift the head first, inhale. Right? And then neutralize the spine, neutralize the pelvis, those sitting bones aim straight back. So we're going to raise the stakes in the cat-cow. You're going to tuck the toes under, hover your knees off the floor just the slightest bit. And then we're going to do cat-cow like this. It's so fun. So let the sacrum release away from the lumbar, that rounds the spine. Head's the last to drop, and then the head's first to lift. Inhale, tailbone lifts. And then exhale, round. Yeah. And then inhale, lengthen the front spine. And then exhale, lengthens the back spine. 2 more times. Can you handle that? Shaking's good. It's just cat-cow, Casey. Last one. All right, and then neutralize it, just neutral. All right, place your knees down. Rest from cat-cow. All right, tuck your toes under again, please. Hover your knees off the floor. Keep the knees low, just pull your hips towards your heels. Keep those knees low. So it's like a activated turbo child's pose. So just training to keep the weight of your hips back. And just go to down dog, lift your hips up. Just a few breaths here. Right. So most all of us are going to benefit from bending your knees a little bit. Yeah. That can slacken the hamstrings so you can roll the pelvis forward. So you get that natural curvature along your spine. And just try to get as still as you possibly can here. Let your breath teach you a few things about the downward facing dog. Yeah, root the inner knuckles. Keep wrapping your outer shoulders towards the ground. As you pull your hips away from your wrist, lift your front ribs into the back body. Walk your hands to your feet all the way at the back of the mat. You can ditch the block. Just place the block off to the side. Yeah, let the head drop. So for the health of your lumbar spine, you want to try to get your torso flush to the thighs. Right? And if you need to bend your knees a little bit or a lot of it, please do so. And then hold your elbows in front of your shin bones. Right? Few breaths here. Energy's lifting up the backs of the legs, the back of the pelvis is lifting up, so the spine just pours down out of the basin of the pelvis. Skull dangles. Switch the cross of your arms. Drop your hands to the mat. So try your best to keep your hips over the ankles as you walk your hands as far forward as they can go. So keep resisting the hips back as you keep crawling your hands forward. I bet you can walk your hands farther forward. Keep walking your hands farther forward. You should feel those hamstrings really start to unravel. Keep going forward with the hands, forward with the spine. Nice. Now with your hips resisting back, put your attention to the crown of your head and then drift forward to the plank pose. The shoulders arrive right over the center of your wrist. Nice. So glue your heels to the back wall, stretch your scalp to the front wall, keep pulling yourself apart as you bend your arms for chaturanga. Exhale. Drop all the way to the mat. Yeah, point your toes back. All right, so I'm gonna have some fun with Casey here. If you don't have 2 blocks at your house, it's fine. You can be happy that you don't have 2 blocks at your house. So tuck your toes under, Casey. Now I'm going to put your feet on the blocks. You're gonna put your feet on the blocks. All right, so come to your forearms. So your forearms are gonna do a few different things. They're pushing down, scrubbing back, and pulling apart, right? And you're going to pull yourself apart, so your middle is going to lift right up to the forearm plank pose on blocks. Right? All right. So it's going to be precarious. Right? Use your breath to navigate through that. We're going to come to little side plank on your left forearm. So if you need to reposition your feet a little bit, you're going to swivel your heels to the left. Reach your right arm up. Now you can stack the legs if you want, like Casey's showing, or can you show staggering the feet? Yes. Right. So your front forearm tries to drag towards the feet. And use your left waist to fill up this top waist. Lift up and on my hand. Nice. Shoulder blades stay spreading apart. Yes. And we breathe. The blocks make it a little interesting here, doesn't it, Casey? Yeah. All right. So very slowly place your right forearm down. Swivel on the heels. Yay. Right, now you're going to turn your heels to the right. Let's just keep the feet staggered. And reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. So try to get that right wrist to seal down. There you go. And then encourage the shoulder blades down the back. Right, spread the chest. So from this bottom rib cage, you turn all the way up beyond the left fingertips. There it is. You breathe in? Yeah? All right. So look down, place your left forearm to the floor. And we just got 5 breaths here. Heels straight up. Yeah. With the blocks, if you're like pushing your feet back, it's going to kick the blocks over. You really got to push the feet down. And that's what keeps the sides of the waist nice and buoyant. And you start to shake. All right, so drop the hips down. Take the blocks out your feet. Place your forehead down towards the mat. And then lace up your fingers behind your skull. So the feet are pushing down like they're doing an up dog. Right? Draw the weight into your pubic bone. Sacrum releases away from the lumbar spine. That's going to put the weight in your pubic bone. And then peel your chest, your head up off the floor. Yeah. So your hands are pushing into your head's lifting up into the hands. And now point your elbows straight forward. Bring your elbows towards one another, creating this little carriage around your head. Now reach the legs back so much they happen to lift up. So nice. Just breathe some space into that low back. There it is. Go for the length rather than the lift. Pull your spine out of your hips. Try to separate your hips and your spine. And it's all over. Just release. All right, child's pose. Let the weight of the hips just fall heavy on the feet as you walk your hands as far forward as you can. Right, so as you push your hands down, let those inner shoulders pull apart. Yeah. And go to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Walk your feet all the way up towards the front of the mat. Bring your hands to your shin bones. Half lift. Inhale. And exhale, we fold. All right, same thing. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, we fold. Bend your knees. Right, tailbone down, just ragdoll the spine all the way up to standing. Your head is the last thing to come on up. Feet a comfortable distance apart. Right, you're rooting down through the 4 corners of the feet, and that rooting down is going to lift your skull off of your spine. The palms face forward, so you got external rotation in your arms. And circle your arms out and up as you breathe in. Look up behind your thumbs and then go forward to fold all the breath out of your body. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Step your left foot backwards. Drop the left knee down. Just one breath. Inhale, reach your arms straight up, look up. Exhale, hands down, step to downward facing dog. Right, crown of the head drives you to plank pose. Inhale. Keep reaching back through your heels as you bend your arms for chaturanga. Exhale, nice. Inhale, roll over the feet, upward facing dog, straight legs. Exhale, thigh bones pull your hips back, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to the front. Place the back knee to the mat. Just one breath. Inhale, your spine, your arms, your gaze up. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Inhale, feed your chest forward. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, we rise, reach, look up. Exhale, pull it into the heart. Inhale, circle your arms out and up. Lift your lat muscles up even. And then exhale, fold. When the breath empties, coil into the legs. Inhale, lengthen the front of your spine. Step your right foot to the back. Drop the back knee. Just one breath. Inhale, arms stretch up. Exhale, hands down. Step to down dog. Inhale, shift to plank. Resist gravity as you bend your arms, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the back of the heart. Exhale, lifts the hips. And steps your right foot to the front. Left knee drops. Inhale, arms lift. Front rim of your pelvis lifts. There it is. Exhale. Inhale, lengthens the spine. Exhale, fold. Push your feet down to stand up. Circle your arms out and up. Inhale. Exhale, pull it into the heart. Inhale, arms lift. Go forward to fold. Exhale. Inhale, open up. Get your hands all the way flat. Do a handstand in your arms and then step to plank position. Take an inhale in plank pose. Exhale, bend your arms. Your elbows reach straight back. Inhale, roll over the feet. Exhale, peels you back to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Really finding that stability in your arms. Right. So the undercarriage of your arms lifting away from the mat. Now lift your head above your shoulders. Lift your head higher than you think. Lift your bottom ribs up. Yeah, bend your knees, pull your hips behind you. Empty your breath out. Put on your little jet pack and then fly up there to your hands. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up for yourself. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, open. Yeah, get your hands flat, step or go direct to chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right. So keeping your hips level, let's use your right hamstring muscle to lift your right leg up and back. Nice. Let's lift this. There you go. Come forward to plank pose with that right leg up off the mat. Curl your right hip under to bring your right knee into your chest. Yes. So don't turn your heart there you go. And now lift up your sacrum just a little bit. There's the low belly. I'm watching everything you do, Casey. No cheating. Three-legged dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Pause. Get light on your fingertips. Hug your right hip into the midline. Get maximal space from the back heel to the crown of your head, and then reach your arms behind you. If you want, reach your arms out in front of you. Makes it a little bit harder. Yeah. So cinch in that waistband three-dimensionally. Pulling your spine out of your back leg. And place your hands down. Straighten your right leg. Yeah, pull your hips back. And you can dorsiflex that front foot if you want to lift the ball of your front foot up and get into the gastroc, the soleus, the Achilles. You know, breathe a few deep breaths into the back of that right leg. So make a square with your front leg again. Front foot flat, bring the knee over the ankle. Turn your back heel into the floor. So warrior one in that back foot. And just pause for a second. Your greater trochanter on that right hip turns towards the left heel. And that left hip, turn it around this strong and long left leg. Come all the way up to warrior one. Arms straight up. Straighten your front leg for a second. And let that allow you to lift up the front rim of the pelvis as much as you can. Right? So you're not going to lose that feeling of jumping up off of your pelvis. You're still going up as you bend that right knee right over the ankle. Yes. Keep wrapping that left hip around your left leg bone. Right. Pull your wrist up out of your waist. Look up towards the thumbs. Take a big breath in. Exhale, palms to the mat. Step to plank pose, inhale, downward dog, exhale. Right. So lead with the inseam of your left thigh. Stretch your left leg back and up. And keep the middle buoyant as you drift forward to the top of a push-up, one-legged plank pose. And the left hip is going to curl underneath of the plank to bring your left knee all the way up and towards your chest. Get those inner shoulders to lift high. Three-legged dog. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, step your left foot right in between your hands. Pause. Bury the front heel. Right? Imagine I'm sitting on your back leg and you got to keep all my weight up with that back thigh bone lifting. Right? Reach your arms to the back. And if you want, reach your arms to the front. Lift the belly off the front thigh. Right? It's tailbone steering towards the back foot. Find the support of your breath. Get longer through the side waist. And then it's over. Place your hands down. Pull your hips back. Straighten your front leg. Get a little counter for that left hamstring. So either front foot's flat. If you'd like, dorsiflex the front foot. Lifting the ball of your front foot up. Couple breaths here. Front foot flat. Bring the center of your left knee right over the center of your left ankle. And then turn your back heel into the floor. So heel to heel alignment is going to be the hardest way to do this pose. Wider than heel to heel alignment is probably, good for most of the population. But this back leg needs to be really strong and stable so your right hip point, frontal hip point, can turn around it. And that left outer hip is turning towards your back foot. Right? Reach your arms forward and then keep going forward just to stand all the way up to warrior one. Right? Straighten your front leg. Right? Turn your belly towards the left. Square your ribs to the front. It's fine if the hips don't get square. Most of us will never get your hips square. But keep that feeling of lifting off of your pelvis as you resist this left knee forward. All the way to a square. If you can imagine that you're pushing your left knee into my hand, or like if you had a block against the knee in the wall, this left knee's resisting forward as that left thigh bone plugs back into the hip socket. Recommit to that. Recommit to the back ribs. Right, reach up through the outer arms. Look up. Big breath in. Exhale, palms to the mat. Inhale, step to plank. Broaden your chest as you bend your arms for chaturanga. Exhale. Urdhva Mukha. Inhale, pull the spine out of your legs, reaching back. Exhale, pull your hips back out of your spine, reaching forward. A few breaths and we should feel nice and somewhat warmed up right about now. Right? So as the heels lift high, knees will bend, hips drag back. When the breath empties out, then you make your way up to the hands, all the way through them. Inhale, open, half lift, and then exhale, we fold. All right, drop the hips back. Inhale, stretch the arms up, chair pose. All right, so let's find a fierce version of this pose. Pull your hips back as much as you can as you drop your chest right above the knees. So you are breathing your hips and your ribs apart. Right? And then keep that sacrum releasing down as you lift your arms and your chest up to the chair pose. So let that sacrum fall down as the spine lifts up. Yes. Stand all the way up. Exhale, pull it into the heart. All right. Inhale, lift your arms up first, then drop the hips back to the chair pose. Chest on your legs, hands to the floor. Exhale, push your hips up with your hands. Inhale, offer your heart. Step or go direct to Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Step your right foot to the front. Turn your back heel in. Just one breath. Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Optional Chaturanga. You can always skip them if you want. Then exhale, brings you to down dog and steps your left foot to the front. Turn the back heel in, plug the feet, inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back. Optional Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. So, try this out. Take your left hand to your sacrum. And so your knuckles, the back of your hand can be on the sacrum. Right, get this sense of hugging into your midline. Just flirt with lifting your left leg up and back. And keep that right hip hugging in. Don't let that right hip go off to the right. Keep that right hip hugging in. Stretch that left leg up. Right. So extra credit, come forward, bring that right shoulder over the right wrist. Not necessary. There you go, Casey Newman. All right, down dog. Guess we're going to down dog. All right. So unfortunately, we got to do the other side real fast. So keep this left tricep rolling down. Right. Take the back of your right hand to your sacrum. Keep some attention in that left palm plugging, and just reach your left leg back. Right leg back, sorry. Without that left hip going all wonkers. Yes. Hug that left ribs in. There you go. Other side's a little different. All right, it's over. Place the right foot down, place the right hand down. Get out of there. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale, side out the mouth. All right, step your right foot forward, please. Stand up, all the way up. Yep, straighten your front leg. Bump your back foot in about a foot, so that left heel is going to be flat. Take your left arm up over your head. And really wrap that left tricep forward. Drop this left hand behind your upper back. Right, reach your right arm to the front. Right, roll your right thumb down, bring it around and up for your left hand. So you can grab onto a strap, your shirt, hair, towel, wherever you want to make it work. Tailbone's heavy, and it probably feels like you're sitting in coach on the airplane right about now. Your head just getting jammed forward. So you're going to bring the head back into the arms. Let that bottom sternum drop. Very nice. Just come halfway forward, please, so your torso is parallel to the floor. Keep standing strong in that back leg, right? And go farther forward to fold over your front leg. The belly drops to the thigh, the chest drops to the leg, head's the last thing to drop. So I want you to envision warrior 3 with your arms like this, with your arms like that. You're going to peel yourself off your front leg, right? Bend the front leg, right? Lift up the low belly. There you go. And start to creep your way into the Virabhadrasana C pose, warrior 3. Yeah. Big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle, ground down, inner heel, outer heel, push down. That right hip firms in. Hit the eject button on that left leg. Left leg goes shooting back. And lift up the front rim of the pelvis, Casey. There you go. Last 3. You just got 2 more. Can you get some more length? Pull yourself apart. Maybe keep the hands standing splits. Fold over your right leg. I'm getting some sound effects. Hands can come down at any time. So try this out. Can you bring your right hand to your right ankle? Can you bring your left hand to your right ankle? I know that right leg is talking to you right now. Don't fall over though. Bring your feet together. Inhale, look forward. Plant your hands down, step or float back through your chaturanga. Exhale, flush it out. Inhale, roll over the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to the front, please. Stand up for crescent pose. All right, straighten your front leg. Bump your back foot in about a foot so that back heel is grounded. Yes. Hip square, rib square to the front. Right. Stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling. So external rotation in the right arm. Drop that right hand behind you into the jaws of the shoulder blade. Stretch your left arm forward. Roll your left thumb down. Internal rotation in that left arm. And then bring it around to reach towards the top hand. Now we all have a good side and a bad side with this shoulder opening variation. And just notice what side that is for you. And as you drop the anchor in your back heel, try to place your scalp to the front of your room so that torso goes parallel to the mat. Shift the chest forward, it's fine. Zoning out, it's all good. And just drape right over that left leg. So the belly first, and the ribs, the chest. Maybe the head can fall down. And just try to soften into this pose here. Soften into your effort. Soften into your work. Keep taking the skin of your left hip back. And stand strong in the back leg. Just a couple breaths here. So let's bend your front leg first. And now peel the torso up. And pull your back leg up to the height of your spine. So as the entire left foot pushes down, right, that should rebound energy up the left leg as your left hip is floating on the pillar of your left leg. Right? Sacrum's level. As that right leg reaches back, feel the spine pull forward out of that. And lift your front body into the back body. Very nice. Just absorb up into the back body. Last 3. Where can you find a little more space? Maybe it's on the side waist reaching forward. Last two. Feed the side ribs forward. Keep the arms if you can. Fold down, standing splits. And unravel the arms. Bring your hands to blocks or to the floor. And if you'd like to increase the demand, I'll give you a couple options. If not, just tune me out. Left hand might go to the back of your left ankle. Maybe the right hand goes to the back of your left ankle. Don't forget about the top leg. Electrify that top leg. Lift it up from the inseam of the thigh. Try to do a split your legs apart in the air. And then it's over. Bring your feet together. Inhale, look out. Plant your hands. Step or float back through your chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale. Roll over the feet. Exhale. Pull your hips back. Downward facing dog. All right, place your knees down to the floor, please. Bring your hips behind your feet and your feet in front of you. Right. So have your knees bent. Take your hands behind your knees. So with your feet on the floor, Casey's doing a good job of keeping that low back from dumping down. You're going to lift your feet up to the height of your knees. So all we're after here is the natural curves in your spine. If you can imagine that you're doing like a down dog here in your torso and your legs, it's pretty much the same shape. Right? Feet are participating, spreading the balls of the feet, the toes. And I guess, just for fun, we can put a block in between your knees. Reach your arms forward. And we're just trying to keep the weight out of the sacrum and the tailbone. We're trying to keep the weight towards the front of the sitting bones. Those sitting bones are sort of beveled like the bottom of a rocking chair. Just trying to keep the weight towards the front of them. Now we're going to go into the half boat pose. Right? You pull yourself apart as you lower down so your shoulders and your calves are just right above the floor. Right? To make it harder, reach your arms up. To make it the hardest, reach your arms back over your head. It's like this big avocado between your chin and your sternum. Yeah. And reach your arms forward and come back up to Navasana, the boat pose, like a jackknife. So as the crown of the head reaches back, your legs reach forward. Maybe the arms go up or back over your head. And when you exhale, close it off. Come on up. So inhale, half boat pose. Exhale, Navasana. Inhale. Exhale. 30 more. Inhale. Exhale. Do 3 of them as fast as you can. All right, do 2 slow. If you don't do them fast, do 2 slow, really slow. It's like you're moving through molasses. So slow it's funny. Lighten up a little bit. 1 more just for good luck. All right, ditch the block, cross the ankles, plant the hands, get out of there, downward facing dog. All right, so your right foot is just going to go halfway up the mat. Yeah. Now lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. All right. So I'm not so concerned about how high you hop up or if you do a handstand or not. I really just want to get your arms to stay straight the whole time. So as your triceps firm in, those inner shoulders push out against that. Yeah. Now you're going to bend your right knee, and it's just a light controlled hop. So it's like you're jumping from your pelvis. So nice. Light controlled hop. Maybe you can make one leg up top. So that right leg comes up, you bind your legs together, tailbone up towards the heels, pull your front ribs in. Place your right foot down. Nice, Casey, you've been working on that. Place your left foot down. All right, so you're in downward facing dog. So your left foot is going to step just halfway up the mat. All right, firm those outer wrists in. Lift your right leg high. Right. So bend your left knee. See it in your mind first. Light control, little hop. Light control, little hop. Side's a little different. Third time's the charm. Let's get stuck up there this time. Bring your legs together. Bring that left leg up. Yes. Right. Bind those legs together. Get out of your low back, Casey. Shake them up. Front ribs in. Come on down. One leg at a time. Nice. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Lace up your fingers behind your back. Just a little relief for those shoulders. We still friends?
I don't know.
Debatable? All right, so do the weird non-habitual way with the fingers. Just switch which pinky's in front. All right, release your hands down. So downward facing dog. Please place your knees down to the floor. So we're going to use 2 blocks, and they are going to go like so, the front of your mat. Now you're going to take your elbows on the blocks. I know I'm not giving you a lot of surface area with the blocks. Right? But you're going to want to start with your hips over your knees. So Casey, walk your knees back under your hips. There you go. Right? So it's the puppy pose. Palms are sealing together. You're going to bring your thumbs behind your head. So just for a second, just let your ribs just plop down. Wow. Right? And now do the opposite. Lift your inner arms, inner shoulders up. Lift those front ribs up. Try to separate the hips and the spine. Okay. So as you're pushing your inner elbows down, that's going to be what helps you to lift up those inner shoulders. And then from your outer shoulders, you're reaching through your elbows. And create this, the skin spreads wide across the back of the heart. Few breaths here. This should feel good. All right. So you can come on out. All right. So you're going to come back down to your forearms. But let's interlace your fingers this time. And you can tuck that bottom pinky in. Right? So your outer wrist point's really important to keep down. You're sealing the ulnar wrist point down. Right? Inner shoulders are high. Right? Tuck your toes. Dolphin pose. Lift your hips up. So we just want to be mindful not to let your chest and your ribs just collapse towards your ankles. We're actually lifting your ribs and your chest away from your ankles and up off your shoulders. And now Casey's hamstrings are going to allow her to walk her feet a little closer towards the elbows. So try to get those feet as close as you can towards the elbows. And that's going to bring your hips towards, being right over your shoulders, right over the elbows. And when you can get stacked, right, it's going to be easier to get up to this inversion. Lift your right leg up, please. And if you reach that right leg up enough, your left foot's going to start to get light. Right, so let the right leg lifting up assist the lift of that bottom foot. Go for it. Yeah, you can do that. I'm not going to help you with this one. Place your right foot down. Now lift your left leg up. Yes, there you go. Try not to hop. It's fine if you don't do it today, Casey. Just work the lift of that left leg. Let that left leg pick up your bottom foot. Ah, so nice. Just accidentally popped up there. Squeeze in. It's over when you want it to be. Ah, child's pose. Nice. I'm sweating a little bit today. Just notice what's bubbling up to the surface for you after those inversions. Sit behind your feet, please. Lie down on your back. And bend your knees. So I'm going to set you up for the bridge pose. So your heels are in line with your sitting bones. And see if you can't scrape your fingers to the backs of your ankles. Yeah. And just lift your hips up a little bit, just a centimeter. It's like a piece of paper slides under your hips in the floor. Tailbone turns towards the space between the knees. As you lift your hips up as high as you can, think about getting your pubic bone the highest part of the pose. Right? So it's your feet pushing down that's going to lift your hips up, maybe higher than your knees. And can you keep the front ribs and the frontal hip points? They are attracted towards each other. Hamstrings engaged. Let's stretch your arms back over your head. Yeah, pull your arms and your knees apart. Hips lift. Yes. Couple more breaths here. Try to pull your feet towards your face. Can you reach your left leg forward? Now those hips dropping, get those hips. There you go. All right, place your left foot down. All right, bury the left heel, reach your right foot towards the front without that right hip sagging down. You feel the engines of the back bends when one leg lifts, you feel those hamstrings ignite. And it's over, place your right foot down. All right, drop the hips. Couple breaths. So bridge pose is still in the kitchen for you. If you are into wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose, I'll talk you through it. And since we've been using two blocks, for those of you at home, I actually got this from Krista Cahill, one of her classes. You can actually step on the block. So you really don't need this, but I'm just going to show them for the people at home. You can place your feet on blocks. So if your hips are on the tighter side, this might help you for the Urdhva Dhanurasana pose. Right? So you can start out like we're going to bridge pose. So just relax, reach your knees forward to lift your hips up. There you go. Right? And you are more than welcome to stay here. You get full credit right here. Extra credit, reach your arms back. Way over your head. Yeah. Now your arms are going to mimic chaturanga. So you're going to plant your hands by the ears. Right? And then squeeze your elbows in so they're over the wrist. And just pause here for a few breaths. Reach your knees and your elbows apart. There you go. Put the work in the legs. Come up to the crown of your head. Nice. Hug the elbows in. You can go straight up. Use the inhale to go straight up. So nice. All right. So bring your knees forward a little bit. There you go. And can you get some space in that lumbar? Let that tailbone rendezvous to the knees. Keep pulling your front ribs, front pelvis towards each other. Yes! Lift your head up, drop down, bend your arms, come on down. Drop the pelvis, ditch the blocks. Knees together, your feet are wide apart. Knees together, feet are wide. Couple breaths here. Let everything resettle. And hug your knees into your chest. Reach your legs up. Just because, put a block in between your inner thighs. Take your hands and grab the sides of your mat. Try to pull your mat apart. So I'm not so much concerned about how far the legs go down. I'm more concerned about keeping your low back to the mat as your legs start to lower. And when you feel the low back start to pull away from the mat, that's the edge that you work. Sacrum releases. The sacrum's like pushing your heels away from the pelvis. There you go. I saw that. All right. It's good to reignite those lower abdominals after a couple back bends, even if you might not like it. Sort of like when you were younger and you made eat broccoli. It's like you didn't really like it, but it was good for you. All right, so it's over. Lift your legs up and hug your knees in. Keep the right leg in, reach your left leg forward. And let's take a gentle, healthy twist just to get any tension that accumulated in those back bends out of there. So a lot of the work in this supine twist is to encourage that top hip towards the bottom foot. Then give the right arm a very nice reach off to the side. Actively reach through that right arm, and that should help to lower your right ribs down. It's all downhill from here. Just yielding you into rest. Full breath in. Pause at the peak. And let it go. Untangle yourself. Hug your left knee into the chest. Extend your right leg forward. And you can shimmy the hips back to the left as you twist across your body to the right. And just be mindful if your right waist is really scrunched up, that right hip's coming towards your face. You want to take that outer right hip and pull it down towards the bottom foot. Okay, and then actively reach through this left arm. And just soften into it. You can sort of let it become passive now. Few breaths. And we'll cap this side off with a long, slow, deep breath in. A brief suspension at the peak. And open your mouth, let it go. Come through the center. Hug your knees into your chest. Let's go Supine Gomukhasana pose. So you're going to place your right knee over your left knee. Reach for the shins or for the feet. So notice if your sacrum is off the floor, your hips are lifting up. You just want to pull your hips forward. Pull your hips as far forward as they can go. Couple more breaths here. You're going to get more of a stretch the higher the feet go up, the more they pull towards your face. And let's just switch sides. Take that left knee over the right knee. You can reach for the shins, or you can grab the feet, the ankles. You might notice this side's a little different. Ask yourself if your hips are lifting up off the floor, just doing your best to try to get your sacrum down to the mat by pulling your hips forward. Relax breathing. We'll let this side go. So instead of doing a forward fold with us folding over our legs, we're going to do a forward fold with our legs coming over our torso. So you're just going to stay here, keep your pelvis down, take your hands behind your legs, and just bring those legs towards your face without those hips coming up though. Keep those hips down. There you go. It's just Paschimottanasana on your back. A nice little hamstring stretch here. And I can tell that Casey found the edge of her hamstrings because her legs are trembling a little bit. But you can get your hips down a little more. There you go. And let's go Supta Baddha Konasana. So bring your feet together on the mat, let your knees split apart. So take your hands behind your head, please, and lift your head and your shoulders up. Yeah. And then reach the crown of your head back to lower it down. Yep. Just let your arms go off to the sides, your palms roll open. You can stretch your legs towards the corners of your mat. So those feet roll out, the legs roll out. Just completely surrender to gravity. Take a moment here just to be happy with what you got from your practice. Give yourself full permission to surrender. Just tapping into this place of deep conscious rest. So let your next inhale fill all the way out to the perimeter of your lungs. And a big sigh on your exhale. You can bring some small movements back into the body. There's no rush to stretch your arms back and your legs forward. And hug your knees into your chest. So drop your right arm behind you, over your head, and just roll over to the pillow of your right arm. In the birth position. Let's use minimal effort as you walk yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And sit up nice and tall. Drop your chin towards your heart, bow your head. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste.